The American frontier was a place of danger, opportunity, and constant change. Vast lands stretched beyond the horizon, filled with promise but also uncertainty. In this unforgiving environment, survival often depended on speed, skill, and the tools you carried. Among those tools, one weapon rose above the rest, earning a legendary reputation that still echoes through history today. It became known as the gun that won the West. Imagine standing on the edge of the frontier in the mid-1800s. Lawlessness was common, and threats could come from anywhere: outlaws, wild animals, or even rival settlers. In such a world, a single-shot firearm simply wasn't enough. You needed something faster, something more reliable, something that could give you the upper hand in a matter of seconds. That's where this revolutionary rifle changed everything. Before its arrival, most firearms were slow to reload. After every shot, you had to manually load powder, insert a bullet, and prepare the weapon again. This process took precious time that could mean the difference between life and death. But this new rifle introduced a groundbreaking innovation: the repeating mechanism. With multiple rounds stored inside, you could fire again and again without stopping to reload. This was more than just a technical improvement, it was a complete shift in how people fought, hunted, and defended themselves. Suddenly, one person with this rifle could outmatch multiple opponents armed with older weapons. It leveled the playing field and gave ordinary settlers a powerful advantage. The rifle's design was both simple and ingenious. A lever located beneath the trigger allowed the user to quickly chamber a new round with a smooth, fluid motion. This lever action system made it possible to fire rapidly while maintaining accuracy. Even someone with minimal training could learn to use it effectively in a short amount of time. But what truly set this rifle apart was its reliability. On the rugged frontier, equipment had to endure harsh conditions: dust, rain, extreme temperatures, and constant use. This firearm proved itself time and time again, functioning when others failed. It became a trusted companion for cowboys, soldiers, lawmen, and pioneers alike. As word of its effectiveness spread, its popularity grew rapidly. It wasn't just a weapon, it became a symbol of strength, independence, and survival. Stories of its use began to circulate, adding to its legendary status. From defending homesteads to riding into battle, this rifle was always at the center of the action. One of the key reasons behind its success was timing. The expansion of the American West created a massive demand for reliable firearms. Settlers were moving into unfamiliar territory, often far from help or protection. Railroads were being built, towns were emerging, and conflicts were inevitable. In this environment, having a dependable weapon wasn't just useful, it was essential. This rifle played a significant role in shaping the outcome of many of these encounters. Whether it was protecting a wagon train or standing guard over a remote settlement, it gave people the confidence to push forward into the unknown. It allowed them to defend what they had built and secure their future. It also became closely associated with iconic figures of the Old West. Cowboys carried it on long cattle drives, lawmen used it to maintain order in growing towns, and frontiersmen relied on it for hunting and protection. Its presence became so widespread that it almost defined the era itself. Interestingly, its impact wasn't limited to civilians. Military forces also recognized its potential. In certain situations, it provided a significant advantage, especially in close-range engagements. The ability to fire multiple shots quickly made it a formidable weapon on the battlefield. However, like any powerful tool, it wasn't without controversy. Its effectiveness meant that conflicts could become more intense and more deadly. In the hands of outlaws, it could be just as dangerous as it was in the hands of lawmen. This dual nature added another layer to its story, highlighting both its benefits and its risks. Over time, improvements and variations were introduced, refining the design and enhancing its performance. Different models offered increased capacity, better accuracy, and greater durability. Yet, despite these advancements, the core concept remained the same: a fast, reliable repeating rifle that could handle whatever the frontier threw at it. Its influence extended beyond the battlefield and into culture. It became a central element in stories, legends, and later, films and television shows. The image of a lone cowboy with this rifle slung over his shoulder became an enduring symbol of the Wild West. It represented freedom, resilience, and the spirit of exploration. Even today, its legacy lives on. Collectors, historians, and enthusiasts continue to study and admire this iconic firearm. It stands as a testament to innovation and the role technology can play in shaping history. More than just a weapon, it tells the story of an era defined by courage, challenge, and transformation. When people refer to it as the gun that won the West, they're not just talking about its firepower. They're acknowledging its impact on an entire period of history. It wasn't the only factor, of course, many elements contributed to the expansion of the frontier. But its role was undeniable. It gave individuals the means to defend themselves in a dangerous world. It provided an advantage in critical moments. And it became a symbol of a time when survival depended on both determination and the tools at your disposal. As you reflect on this remarkable piece of history, consider the world it helped shape. Think about the challenges faced by those who carried it and the decisions they made in moments of uncertainty. This rifle wasn't just part of their story, it helped define it. From dusty trails to growing towns, from quiet homesteads to intense confrontations, it was always there, ready, reliable, and revolutionary. Its legacy continues to capture the imagination, reminding us of a time when innovation met necessity in the most dramatic way possible. And that's why, even after all these years, it still holds its place as one of the most iconic firearms ever created. Not just a tool, not just a weapon, but a legend.